Welcome back. All right, so that was quick. The overtime. I will be able to do the other two recaps, and this is the last night, last weeknight. We're gonna have four hockey games. We do not have four hockey games the rest of the weeknights this week, so gets easier to follow everything and all that. Not that I've really had much trouble following everything over the first round, but yeah. So it's funny. When I was watching this game tonight, I thought there's Leaf fans somewhere thinking THG's really happy that we're down. Probably really, really happy, and he's going to pretend he's not. And he actually hates Toronto. I've seen it. It's not accurate. And I don't know that I've ever cheered when Toronto's won a game. Like, in fact, no. The last time I remember cheering for a Toronto victory like tonight, you'd have to go back to the 80s against the Chicago Blackhawks. I just, that's what I'm remembering is them against the Chicago Blackhawks way back when, like the Wendell Clark days. So with Samsonov versus Vasilevsky in this one, Point playing in this game. I had no doubt he was going to. Braden Point, if he can play, he plays. That's the rule. Paul has a shot that's blocked. There was a hit on Nyes that draws cheers. Stamkos fires one high. The puck's cleared. Perry has a shot that's blocked. Jeannot fires one wide. Nyes then fired one wide on a rush. But early on, it looked like Tampa Bay was controlling things because they were. Tampa Bay presses. They're kept to the outside. Neither team's giving room in the middle of the ice, but Tampa Bay's getting some shots here and there. We get a power play then for Toronto. There's a shorthanded rush by Hagel that draws a penalty shot, and Samsonov saved it, which didn't feel all that key at the time, but it turns out it kind of is. So the Bolts finished the kill, or the Leafs finished the kill. Bolts finished the kill. I was right the first time, and then Tampa Bay goes to the power play, and they score on theirs. On a good cycle, it's Killorn with his first in 30 playoff games. Yeah, Killorn took a lot of ridicule during last year's playoffs for not getting goals, but he had opportunities. He's all around the net. Killorn's a 20-goal scorer, so he gets one here from Kucherov and Hedman at 9:57. So great pass. The Let's Go Bolts chance gets started. The crowd's really into it. Bolts press with 9 minutes left. Killorn nearly adds another. He was all over the ice tonight. Shots are 5-3 for Tampa Bay with 8 minutes left. And Toronto was stuck at 3 shots for a while. Leafs get zone time. They're not getting to the net. Schenn has a shot that's blocked. Killorn then has a rush chance. That's defended. Perry has a net drive chance. That's held onto by Samsonov. Tampa Bay presses with 4.5 minutes left. Hagel has a rush chance that deflects wide. Killorn's then denied in close. Another hold by Samsonov there. Kampf gets denied in close as the Leafs press. Tampa Bay clears. And then at 18:27, another good pass by Kucherov. And it is wired near side by Sergachev. Braden Point with the secondary assist. So Point plays. Point gets an assist. And there you go. The Leafs press to respond, but they run out of time. So after the first period, it's 2-0 for Tampa. The crowd is really noisy. And it feels like we're going back to Toronto with a 2-2 series tie. So, second period. Early Matthews' chance gets held. Lafferty has a shot that's saved. Tampa Bay rushes. Things get pushy on a hold by Samsonov. Perry has a net feed. That's blocked. There's a near miss for Matthews as the Leafs press. And then on a screenshot, Achari tips one in. Yep, Noel Achari from Hall and O'Reilly at 4:01. Then there's a dog pile at the Leafs net as the Bolts try to answer. Tampa Bay, pretty good at coming back and trying to get that answer. Matthews has a chance that's saved as the Leafs press. Hagel to Cirelli, near miss there. And then Killorn gets denied again. We get some pushing after that. Shots are 7-4 for Toronto at 7 minutes. Tavares has a net feed that gets picked off. Tavares' next chance then deflects out, and we get some more pushing. The Leafs come out of that with a power play. That was killed off, and right after, Nylander has a shot that deflects high. And then at 11:31, on what was seemingly a harmless-looking play, Stamkos tips one in, Hedman and Perbix with the assists. So Tampa Bay gets back the 2-goal lead. And that feels commanding at that stage. We're over halfway through the game. Tampa with a 2-goal lead. They're at home. They had a great home record all year. Leafs press for response. Nyes with a wraparound. That saved. Schenn has a shot that's blocked. There's a power play for Tampa. They cycle. Hedman fires one wide. The Leafs are blocking, keeping the Bolts to the outside. That power play's killed off. No shots for Tampa Bay on it. Matthews fires one wide. The Bolts clear it out. Points denied as the Bolts press with 2 minutes left. But then... again, through a screen, this one's from a sharp angle, and it's Killorn that wires one. Hagel and Sergachev with the assists at 18:49. So it's 4-1. Again, crowd very noisy. It feels like this game's probably done. Leafs look to answer. Things get pushy on a hold by Vasilevsky. 43 seconds left. We go to 2 minutes of 4-on-4. And at the horn, things get kind of pushy, and guess what? McCabe takes a penalty, so Tampa Bay's starting this third period with a 3-goal lead, and they're starting it on the power play. You couldn't serve it up any better for Tampa Bay than that. They can end it. They can get that next goal. They can go up 5-1, and that's not how it works. Near miss for a point. The Leafs clear. They did kill off that power play. There were 3 shots for Tampa Bay during that power play. So the Leafs would clear it out after it was done. Then Tampa Bay presses 3 minutes in. Hedman has a blast that's held. We get some pushing. Tavares can't bury one and close as the Leafs press. The fans call one, the ref doesn't, so that means you've got to chant, "Ref, you suck," or else he won't know that he does. Bolts press at 6 minutes. They're kept to the outside. There's a near miss for Cirelli on a rush. Hagel then has a rush chance that's saved, and the Leafs clear it out. And again, all these saves, they don't feel so key because they're down by 3, right? So it's like, it's nice to see Samsonov's, building up his save percentage after allowing 4 goals, but these saves don't matter. Well, the Leafs press are kept to the outside, but then at 9:44, on a nice little tic-tac-toe play, Matthews buries one. Marner and Nylander with the assist. So it's 4-2, and again, it feels like, all right, well, you've got half a period left. Sure, you're Toronto, but it's Tampa. Tampa at home, right? So the Leafs press for another with 8:44 left. They get a power play. There were back-to-back clears by the Bolts. It looked like they were going to survive this, but on one that's tipped in close, Matthews scores from Nylander and Giordano at 12:29. So the Leafs get this one within 1. The Leafs then press with 5.5 minutes left, and the crowd quiets down a bit at this point. Nylander has a sharp angle shot that's held, and then on a face-off win, I don't know if they changed the scoring on this one. Phone's all the way over there, but it was given to Riley from Marner and O'Reilly at 16:04, and if they changed it because it got tipped in, doesn't matter. It's tied either way. So it's a 4-4 tie. Killorn then gets denied on a 3-on-2. So this is where Samsonov's saves start to become more and more prominent, right? Bolts press with a minute and a half left. Nylander has a net feed that's held. We are going to overtime. Toronto scores 3 goals in that third period. We're going to overtime. And this is a good example of the Grant Fir argument that you hear a lot of, well, you'd get that fourth past Grant, but then he'd make big saves, and you're not getting that next one. And that's kind of how it felt with Samsonov tonight. So we go to overtime. Matthews has a rush chance that's saved. Stamkos then had a one-timer that was saved at the other end. The Leafs press 2 minutes in. Nylander has a shot that's blocked. They draw power play. The Leafs go to the power play in overtime. Marner has a shot that's saved. It's cleared. There was another clear, and it's late in the power play, and it feels like Tampa's going to survive this. And then Kerfoot tips one in front. Giordano and Nylander with the assists at 4:14. And that crowd in Toronto watching on the streets and in the building went crazy. Toronto wins 5-4 in overtime. They go up 3-1. They have 3 chances to end this series. I even found my Me-Seeks magnet today, and I thought, yeah, I'm putting it on the board because this just feels weird. Toronto's up 3-1. I picked them to win the series, but yeah, they're up 3-1. And this huge comeback victory, this is big. So 3 stars, Kerfoot, Killorn, and Matthews. Shots on net, 12-5 Tampa in the first, and then 14-7 Toronto in the second, 12-11 Toronto in the third, and 6-1 Toronto in the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots, 37-31 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Power plays, Toronto 2 for 4, Tampa Bay 1 for 3. The hits, as advertised, 46-45 for Toronto. Samsonov, 27 saves on 31 shots. Vasilevsky, 32 saves on 37 shots. So Vasilevsky's save percentage still not where you'd want it to be. It came into today .853. And yeah, in that third period, he allows 3 goals, and then he allows the one in the overtime. I don't have any proof that there's anything a little bit off with Vasilevsky, but there's one of two things going on. Either Toronto's figured out how to beat him, or there's just something a little bit off. And I don't say that as an insult to Toronto or anything. It just, these aren't Vasilevsky-like numbers, again. But we saw that in last year's playoffs too, and we'll see if Toronto can finish it at home. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.